this video, I will be showing you how to build a shoe shelf out of PVC pipe. I have been looking all over the internet for a good shoe shelf to fit as many shoes as I have. They're not in the box, so that makes it a little more difficult. I will be showing you step by step how to do this and what tools you need. I know everyone likes to get those clear drop front boxes, but those start to add up if you have as many shoes as I have. So the tools you will need will be a measuring tape, these little feet for the size PVC pipe that you are using, which in my case, I am using 1/2 inch because one, it was cheaper, and two, it seemed a little more sturdy to me. A Sharpie, some cutters for the PVC pipe, and as many of these T connectors you think you will need depending on how many shelves up you are building. Obviously, the amount of PVC pipe that you are buying depends on how big and how long you are wanting your shelf to be. In this case, I bought 16 10-feet poles. For my example, I used the measuring tape to get the length of 5 pairs of shoes laying down. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do laying down or standing up, but for the time being, they're extremely close, so I did 5 pairs. You can obviously do 4, and that got me to about 43 inches with a little extra because I started a little further. Standing up, they take up just a little more space, and for me, this is all about maximizing the space that I have. So as you can see, the low top pairs come up to about 5 inches, so I'm probably gonna build the shelves at 6, just to give a little bit of space. Now, any high top pairs, this may not work out. I have so many pairs of shoes, I'm probably gonna need 2 shelves. So for the first one, I'm probably gonna stick with low tops only, but for a Jordan high or anything higher than that, you will probably need 7, maybe 8 to give yourself a little space. I'm gonna do enough of them to make 4 shelves, so that just means I need 8 of them. It's now time to use the tape measurer and the Sharpie. So we're gonna measure these out at 45 inches. You definitely want to make sure that you get these right or your shelf will not be even. I did 45 inches right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get my handy dandy PVC pipe cutters, which I've never used before. So let's hope that these things do some magic. Holy cow, that's not easy. See, now I'm just gonna use this one as my measure piece. I can just come here and make sure I have them flush on this side. Keep out the Sharpie though, because I'm not gonna cut them together. Draw a nice little line. And so now we will have the extra piece on each 10-foot pole to use as the smaller connector pieces. So I'm gonna put that to the side. And now we're gonna fast forward through by the time I end up with 4 shelves worth of the poles. I now have 4 shelves ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and piece these together and show you how that works. So one of these will be the feet, and this is how this works. You just go ahead and slide one of the smaller pieces, good catch, that I bought 4 of in here. So it goes ahead, and so then there's your foot to get it off the ground just a bit. And so then you start by putting the PVC pipe into the bottom rather than in the T part, because you're gonna have to make crisscrossing joints. So I'm gonna have to cut the pieces that I have left over to fit into here to make those work. So I don't know how far these extra pieces go in here to make the connector, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put one in, give it a little mark right here, get it out, and then what you're able to do is I will use the measuring tape, even though I could probably just eyeball it and just hit it with a measurement. So what it looks like to me is just do 1.25 inches on every single one of them. So now you're gonna need 4 of these connector pieces, so this is just gonna be a lot of cutting at the moment. So these are not straight whatsoever in my opinion, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. So I have 4 of the connector pieces, so hopefully I can go with making at least 1 shelf here. Gonna go ahead and put that there. You may need a hammer now that I think about this. We've got our feet on, we've got the first T joints on. We are going to add these here. So you need to add the horizontal part going this way so you can continue to build your shelves up. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a hammer. Got a hammer and a piece of scrap wood so I can make sure these are fitted tightly without messing up the PVC. Your measurements do matter. This is where I started to get a little longer than what I needed to be, and now I've even hammered it in. So gonna have to take this out and just trim just a bit off of it to make it flush. I am a size 11, so it's looking like I need right at 1 foot. If you're any smaller of a size or bigger of a size, you may need 13 inches or 10 inches. I'm trying to maximize my space, so I'm going right at 12 inches. Now for the front to back measurements, we need a 12-inch piece. I'm gonna go ahead and just use this one. We're gonna go ahead and need 2. All right, here's how you connect these. Okay, so as you can see, this is the base. This is gonna be your first shelf. You're gonna put a piece of material over this. So it seems this part's gonna be a little difficult. If I want 6 inches to take into account the T-connector piece, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the pole in and hit it with a mark, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just cut 4 the same size. So even if they're just a little off, it won't matter that much because they'll be the same bit of off. And if, again, they're a 1/4 of an inch, it's not like a pair of shoes won't fit in there. So gonna go ahead and cut this one. Easy does it. Here's my 4 pieces. Gonna just gently set them in there so I can hammer them down. Easy does it. And now we're back to step 1, where you put these in here and you are ready to make another shelf. And since I already have these cut, I can go ahead and put them in here. New bag. And so then these connect both here. Just give this a... This is also where some of your support comes from to make the shelf sturdy. And again, now we're back to the other step of I'm gonna need a whole bunch of the tiny connector pieces. I'm just gonna get all my pieces cut and then fast forward to the next steps just to start getting this thing built a little quicker. So save you a little time, here we go. Okay, we've got a few of our pre-cut pieces ready to build a couple of levels of this shelf. Let's get to it. Cross these here. Handy dandy. Hey, that was really dumb. I'm back. Forgot the connector pieces for these guys right here. Wish I didn't. Gonna save ourselves a little bit of hammering though. Let's go ahead and go here, go here. Tiny piece, tiny piece, tiny piece. Let's go ahead and do it now. Okay, so showing it like this, we've now easily got 3 levels to put shoes on. We're gonna get a type of thin wooden board to put across here so then you can lay them on. Obviously that'll be throughout the rest of the video, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this close up. So you start with the foot piece, and then you go with the T connector piece facing this way, and then you have to have a small, about 1-inch piece in between here to connect this T piece to this T piece. And then you've got what I went with, like 3.5 inches here to give us like close to 6 inches in between, which should fit any sort of low top shoe. And then you just continue to do that process over and over again. So you've got a small piece for the connector, 3.5-ish inches, another one, small connector, and then we've already got these 3.5 inches connected. We don't have enough of the long pieces connected, but all you have to do is just continue to do those steps over and over again with how tall you want this. So I'm going about 8 feet. So holy cow, I should be able to get, so 6, 9, 12 shelves, I would say. So 12 times 5 is what, 60? So I should be able to fit about 60 pairs of shoes on this thing.
2 big poles.
We're gonna do one shelf. It's plastic corrugated board. We're gonna drill holes in the corners to screw them down. So we're gonna do one of those right now.
Hold the board, please. Yeah. Okay. All right. Perfect.
So I ran out of the T connector pieces and I wanted the top one to be a little taller. So we're not gonna have a support in between, which I think will be okay, but I made this one just a bit taller. Now it's time for drill and drill bit. We now have finished project. I am 6'2" and this thing is way taller than me. So this is the front, so I made the shelves flush with this side. They're probably off by just a little on the back, but that's okay, you're not gonna see it. Let's move it inside and load some shoes up on it. So this thing's so big, I have no way of showing it, but let's show it when it's full. All right, it's mostly done. We have quite a few pairs on here, definitely room for more. Got room for the pair I have on right here. I do think that this thing is extremely handy. It definitely took a little bit of work, a little bit of money, but it is exactly what I wanted. I didn't have to drill any holes into the wall, so I think this is fantastic. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe if this was helpful to you. You all have a good day. Let me know if you ever build this.